All right, we have done so much work coming up with a unique content plan for you, figuring out exactly how to make your website and all your social media discovery ready, and figuring out how to always be one click away for your audience. But now I want to help you put that all together for a definite plan on how you're going to move forward. So I've put together a nice little workbook that you can use over the next few weeks to launch a weekly content project. And the main tip here I have for you is that every week, even though I know I have put a lot of different thoughts into your head, every week you're really just going to have one goal, and that is one relationship deepening ask that you have with your audience. So I just wanted to show you this sample plan worksheet that I made and then show you how you might use it with your particular project. So first of all, what you're going to do is just fill out here your project name, your project description, sort of the unique sets of skills that you're bringing and the unique aspects of your art and your personality that you're bringing into this project, as well as the time you decided you're going to spend per week. This is just for you to know your parameters as you're hopping on in. Also, I want you to remember what your goal is. Is it to grow your mailing list a certain amount, build a well of content? Obviously, that is the goal. Prep for a crowdfunding campaign, prep for a tour, whatever that goal is, or the few goals, let's remember what they are and write them down so that when you are deep in the wells of creating stuff, you remember what the goal is. You don't have to make something perfect. Everything doesn't have to be the best thing you've ever made. We really are just here to develop a relationship with our audience, remember? All right. So this is the most important part here, and that's the plan. So let's talk about this plan. The plan is this. We're going to post a new piece of content once a week. Each week we will have one relationship deepening goal in addition to that content, making the content easy to view, one click or less away to view or experience. And that means that, for example, if you're posting a video, you're going to put it directly on YouTube. If possible, you're going to put it directly on Facebook. If possible, you're going to put it directly on Instagram. And you're going to make it so that people can click right on Twitter to go view it. They can click wherever you are. They can always get to that video one click or less away. If the content is one or more click away, provide previews. So if they can't directly see your full video, make sure they see a picture of it. If it's a podcast or something that they're going to have to go through a few layers to get to, maybe make a clip or a trailer, something so that they can definitely experience what they're getting to before they get there. Because remember, every click is a big ask on this fast-paced internet we live with. And then we're only going to ask for one thing at a time in addition to the content after they've experienced the content. And we're going to make sure the link to that thing is always provided and always clickable. And then we're going to give more value than we ask for. So we're not asking for money yet. So what we're doing right now is providing value. We're reminding people, hey, I'm your friend. I'm here to give you stuff. And then when it comes time to ask for money or to ask for whatever you're going to ask for once we get through this class, they've remembered all of the great things you've given them, all the great content. Okay, so the rest of this workbook is 10 weeks that you can fill out, probably not all at once, but as you go along, so that you have a reminder of what each week your tasks are and how you create a goal. Okay, so let's start with week 1. Before you get started, you're going to have your goal, and I've already set up your goal here for week 1, which is just getting started, okay? So you're not asking for anything on week 1, you're just going to post the content. And your goal with week 1 is just to have people look at this content or listen to this content, view this content, interact with this content. That's the whole goal for week 1. So before the launch, you're going to make sure you're discovery ready. You're going to set up your mailing list. You're going to create the content, and you're going to make sure that the content is super easy and super beautiful to look at. So you're going to upload and debug all your links using Twitter Card Validator and Facebook Link Debugger. I'm going to go ahead and show you right now what that looks like. So Facebook Link Debugger is my favorite website on the whole internet. It's right here, developers.facebook.com/tools/debug. So if I were posting a video from my own YouTube channel, I would be taking the link every time before I post it and I would post it here in this sharing debugger, because if I didn't do that, then maybe this thumbnail wouldn't show up, maybe this title or this caption here would be old or not up to date or not showing up. So I want to make sure that I'm doing this before I post the links anywhere. And so you should always be doing that before you post content, especially new content. And then also I will go to card validator, which is card/dev, twitter.com/validator, and be posting that same link there to make sure that this is an image, that this whole thing is showing up and populating exactly the way that I want it to. Because if it's not, that is a problem, and if it's not, then all I'm going to do is just keep pressing this until it updates. All right? Okay. Then we're going to go to Canva to create appropriately sized thumbnails and images for all platforms. You can use your own service if you want, but I use Canva, and I'll show you why right now. So canva.com is the best platform in the whole world. It is just an incredible, incredible thing, and an amazing free service. So, for example, if my video, let's go ahead and just use a picture of me or a picture of Colin Firth. Okay, so I'm like, okay, this is my picture. This is my content. I want to remove the background. I want to give the idea that it's music. So I have this like beautiful music background. I have this picture of Colin Firth because it's a song that Colin Firth is singing. And I have some text like a song about robots. Okay? So this is nice. And this is my Twitter picture. And I'll make it like a nice font. See, Canva remembers all my favorite fonts. Gorgeous. Who wouldn't click on this? No one. But if I posted this on Instagram, it would be ugly because it is wider than it is tall. Gross. So I just go into Canva and I resize it. I make a YouTube thumbnail. I make an Instagram post. I make a Facebook post. I make all of these. And Canva goes ahead and it makes all of these different sized images for me. And I can just adjust these wonderful graphics that I've made for the different platforms. Isn't that nice? So I would go ahead and do this every week before I post my stuff so that I am not finding myself being lazy, so my audience isn't going like, okay, this isn't optimized, clearly they don't care about me. And then I go ahead and download all of this stuff so that before I launch each piece of content, I have a bunch of wonderful graphics. Okay, and then if my content happens to be a video, I'd make sure to create caption for those, whether that's in YouTube or in a third-party service. Okay? And so this has a nice place for you to write your content's name, and then fill out your posting plan. So for each piece of content, I want you to, keeping in mind your goal, which in this week is just please watch this content, to come up with a posting plan for each social media platform. So on Twitter, that's going to be like, if this is a video, for example, Colin Firth loves robots. Want to hear more? Here's a link to the YouTube page. But if it's on Facebook, it might just be like, Colin Firth loves robots, and that would just be the Facebook video right there. People know that they're going to watch it, etc. And then day 3 reminder posting plan. This just goes ahead and lets you know, let's remember to tell people about the video again, or about this content again. This only has 2 different days. Ideally, you're going to tell people about each piece of content multiple times. But I have 2 different days here because I want you to have 2 different ways that you are telling people. I want you to have, like, this day you're saying Colin Firth loves robots. This day you might say, like, have a joke. You might have a different image. You have some other a very, very different way of talking about the same goal that you're pitching. Okay, so that's why we have 2 different pieces here. Let me show you a sample. So I have created a sample plan here for a project called Robot Theme Songs. and this is 60-second straight-to-camera video robot songs. So for my first week, Instagram, I have a square video. Twitter, I'm going to talk about, do you know a robot who can use a theme song? Here's the YouTube video, that kind of thing. And then on Thursday, I share a photo of my cat. I've been playing my new song about K9 around the house and my cat is pretty mad at me. Is that normal? Have you heard the new song? And then I link to the YouTube video. So it's a different concept for the same content. Okay? And then I do the same thing on Twitter. Great. All right. Now let's go into week 2. So the goal for week 2 is just to establish a pattern, right? So no asks. Again, we're just trying to be like, okay, now there's another piece of content this second week. And people are beginning to think, oh, are they now people who post weekly content? That's so wonderful. So pretty much we're doing the exact same thing in week 2, and you can see that in my sample, which I'll also upload for you to watch, or for you to look at as a sample. I just started writing songs about robots, and yes, I'm proud of myself. You know, just like, let's look at all of this great content. Please go watch it. We wrote a new song about this week, and at least somebody likes it. Have you heard it yet? Okay, so we're just doing the exact same thing we did in week 1. Then in week 3, our goal is announcing this project. So I prefer to announce a project once it already has a little bit of stuff for people to dig into. To have a big announcement and waste it when there's only a little bit of content for people to dig into, I think is a bummer, because then they can't get really a lot of time dug into it. So let's announce this project now that there are 2 or 3 different things to look at. So on day 0, which is the day before you're about to watch or launch your 3rd week, announce the project on all your social with its name and where to find it, and tell people to expect week 3 tomorrow. So you're going to make sure to set up a section of your website devoted to the project where people can go and watch or view or listen to all 3, or all 2, I guess, so far, and check it there again tomorrow for week 3. And we're going to make sure that when they go to that website to watch the first 2, that there is also a link to the mailing list where they can check up and be like, okay, well, I want to know when the 3rd one is posted, so I'll join this mailing list, right? So that's goal week 3, announce the project, and then on when we launch the actual week 3 content, the goal will not just be watch this video or watch this content for week 3. It'll be watch all 3 of them. Okay, so that's slightly different than just watch this one. And then on day 3, again, when we're doing the Thursday, it's going to be check out all 3 so far. Week 4, our goal is going to be to join the mailing list. Okay, so instead of just passively having the mailing list around, we're going to be directly asking people every time they view the content, the week 4 content, do you like this? Join the mailing list for whatever, a free thing, for a reminder whenever I post stuff, whatever you're using your mailing list for. This is going to be what you're posting about in week 4. Week 5, I say, well, what is your relationship increasing goal? Let me show you what I have for my samples. So, week 3, announce the project. I'm going to have, go ahead and make the content on Monday, release the content on Tuesday, remind about the content on Thursday. Week 4, join the mailing list, everyone. So I make sure to have a special new mailing list welcome email on this mailing list week. And every time I post about it, I say, this one has a long story behind it. It's probably the best thing I've ever heard. Please click the link in bio so I can send you the story. More to the story. Can you believe it? Get the whole story. Email list link. Okay. So that's how we get the mailing list plug out. So my week 5 is share with a friend. So I say, okay, here is the video. Please share this with a friend this week. You can send them this full playlist of all of the songs, right? So that's what I'm going to be posting about on day 1 to 3. Week 4, I'm going to say, follow me on Spotify. Maybe that's really something I really want people to do. So I'll make sure to upload all the songs to Spotify, make a playlist, and say, here is this week's song. By the way, all these songs are on Spotify. Can you follow me there? Week 7, read a story on my blog. I want more traffic to my website, and I have a lot of good stories there. And I know if people go to my blog, they'll be spending more time with me and deepening the relationship. So I'll say, here is this week's video. I have a big story about it on my blog, or you can watch the video embedded in my blog, and while you're there, why not check out some more tour stories or something like that. So that's the week 7. Week 8, well, I'll be playing this song at my free live stream show on Friday, so why not watch my live stream show on Friday? So that's going to be the plug for week 8. Join my mailing list. Again, that might be my plug for week 9. And then week 10, RSVP to my crowdfunding campaign launch event. So that's what this whole thing is leading up to, is I'm about to launch a crowdfunding campaign. So please RSVP to my crowdfunding campaign launch event, which will be how I'm going to remind you about my crowdfunding campaign launch. All right, so I am very excited for you to put all of this amazing work that you have done so far in the last few modules together into an awesome project, and to squish it all into this worksheet, because there is just so much work that you have done, and you can really get a lot out of it if you have it organized and use some goal-oriented planning. Yeah, so enjoy this worksheet. I'm going to attach it a few different ways along with this example for you to take a look at. And yeah, enjoy, get into it, and I'll see you in the next unit.